Okay, so this is second video on the perpendicular lines, complementary angles, and I will probably just leave the other one up so it'll be a second example. So the problem for so this is about the exit ticket on Friday, September 6th. So the problem reads pretty similar to this. Line and different line names, different numbers, all that kind of stuff, but something effective. It tells you that two lines are perpendicular and then just says solve for x, and it gives you some information in the image. I'm pretty sure it's in the image. So the first thing you need to know is line R and line S are these two lines. That's line S, that's line R. Those two lines are perpendicular. It tells you that in the problem. Next thing you need to know is, okay, that means definition of perpendicular is I have a bunch of right angles. So let's do that in red, I guess. That is a right angle. That is a right angle. That is a right angle. And then the important one is where I have all the information. This is a right. I'm going to make it really large and then I'm going to get rid of it anyway. That is a right angle. That whole entire thing from one yellow section line to the other yellow. This right here. That is a right angle. So if that's the case, and we know right angle means 90 degrees, that big angle is 90 degrees. All I did is I took that big angle and I split it into two smaller angles with that line that I just highlighted. Technically, it's a ray, not a line, but I just split it into two angles. So the original angle didn't change inside. It is still 90 degrees. So therefore, let's do blue. This angle, which that is the measure of the angle. I keep circling it, tell you to circle it, whatever you got to do. You got to understand 9x subtract 15 is the measure of that angle from the green to the yellow. That angle right there is 9x subtract 15. The measure of this angle here, that angle right there, is 2x plus 5. Those two measures, those two angles have got to add up to the big angle. This is little plus little equals big. And the big angle, I'll let you think about what the big angle should be. You should know that automatically. Little plus little equals big. Again, that came from the fact that the yellow lines are perpendicular. To solve it really quickly, I combine the x's. If I have 9x's and I add 2 more to it, I get 11x. I can combine things that are just numbers, no variables. To get that, I'm not going to go over how. You need to know how to do the algebra. So now I need to solve for x. I need to get x by itself. I want to start with the 10. You don't know how to do these, you got to do the IXLs. Watch my video on algebra for geometry. Whatever you do on one side, you do on the other. I don't know why I just added 90. That's 10. 100 equals 11x. Last step, divide by 11, divide by 11. So you would get, what's that, 9 and 1/9 or 9.11111 forever, something like that. Really 111ths is fine. This is the more common way you'll actually see it on, I think, state tests and district tests. But if you guys like converting it, just remember, this is not the measure of the angle. X is not the measure of the angle, or angles plural. The measure of the angle is either that, if we're talking about the little angle, or that, if we're talking about the big angle. So just remember, go back and read the question and see if you need to solve for an angle. You will not need to do that on the exit ticket. All right, so you can watch the other video too, which was not as good as this one because I couldn't get it to work. But I'll leave both of them up just so you have two examples you can try.